Well, hello there. I'm Kate Bendewald from Designers Oasis. Today I'm going to show you exactly how I set up and organize my interior design projects using Asana. Asana is my personal favorite project management tool. Yes, I use Dubsado for getting my clients all onboarded and accepting payment. I use Ivy to keep track of all the products that we're sourcing. But when it comes to the overall picture of how to organize the project, Asana is my go-to. And I often will link to things in Dubsado, in Google Docs, in Dropbox, and in Ivy from Asana. So think of Asana as your home base for keeping everything organized, assigning tasks to either yourself or teammates if you have them, as well as due dates. Now, there are similar products out there, for example, Trello, which could work the same way if that's your preferred tool. You can take these same ideas and apply them to Trello. Asana just happens to be my personal favorite. And finally, I've given you a free download where if you like the template I'm using, you can upload it directly to Asana or Trello, I believe, and you can use this exact base for your own projects. Of course, you can take what I've given you and take and tweak it for your exact project needs. Okay, I hope you find this video helpful. Let's dive in to Asana now and take a peek. So now we are in the Asana template, and I'm going to show you my exact template, and I've created a version of this for you to download and use yourself. Stay tuned to the end of the video where I'll show you exactly how to upload this and get it to look exactly like mine. There are just a few quick steps you'll need to do. Okay, so to start, I don't pay for the pro version of Asana, so we have this template, and the very first thing that we would need to do is to duplicate this project here with this drop-down menu and say duplicate. Here you can adjust any settings that you want and give it the name that you desire. Now, I've already done that, so I'm going to just come over here to this little guy and we will modify and edit this to our heart's content. Right off the bat, I want to point out that there's this first column which has what I call evergreen notes. These are notes that we need to have at quick reference for the duration of the project. So they're not intended to be tasks that get checked off and disappear. These will stay here for the duration of the project. These, on the other hand, we will work through. Now, starting with the first phase, which is onboarding, this is all of the tasks related to getting the project started. One thing to keep in mind is that I use Dubsado for all of my contracts and retainers and proposals. So that's already been done by the time I'm getting into Asana and creating this project. So that's why you won't see them built into this template, but you certainly could add them if you'd like. So onboarding, once we've gotten the retainer, the contract, and the agreements all signed, that's when we set up Asana. And there are other tasks that we need to do. I'm not going to go into every single one of these, but I will give you sort of a high-level overlook at our design process. Before we get started, a few things to note just generally about how Asana works. So each of these are tasks, and within them, there are subtasks. Now, in the board view, you can drop them down here, or you can move into them over here and look at them. I will point out there's also a list view, which is the default view. And when you import yours, it will look like this, and I'll show you at the end how to fix that. But for now, we're going to work through the board view. The very first thing you want to do is go through and assign tasks. So an assistant will go through and assign different things to either myself or to her to get started. Not everything is known at the outset, but we do that with a few tasks just to start. The other thing that is really important to note is that you have the ability to use this description section in a really powerful way. So we often will link to Airtable, Dropbox, Dubsado, Ivy, which is our product management side of the project, Google Docs, whatever, but this is where we keep anything related to that task. The other thing that you can use is, let's say that you've completed these preliminary drawings and you want me to look at them. Here, you can just type in my name and you can say, will you take a look at these, please? And I'll get an email that is going to say, hey, somebody commented on these. And you might even create a subtask and say, ready for review. And maybe you would assign that to me and say, hey, can you look at this by tomorrow? Okay, so then I know that that is something that's been complete or nearly complete, but needs to be reviewed. The other thing that is super helpful when managing a project is to use the calendar view. So once you've right now it's going to be blank because we haven't assigned any dates, but once you have assigned specific dates for things, this calendar view starts to become really helpful to keep you on track. One other fun trick that I want to remind you of is that you can attach documents to each task. So if you have photos, PDFs, even audio files, they can be added to each task if that is helpful for your workflow. All right, and before we dive into the individual sections, I want to point out that this is a useful area as well, where you can sort through all incomplete tasks, all completed tasks. You can filter and look at things that are upcoming right away, or you can sort by different features as well. Finally, there is this ability to customize the way that you see it if you find that looking at these a different way is beneficial for a time being. As I mentioned earlier, these project notes are all evergreen, meaning they're going to stay for the duration of the project. First, we put in client details. So yes, we have this information in other places, but this is a super helpful place where we always know where to find important client details. Milestone dates are all of the dates related to the project, and we set these from the very beginning of the project. If we're working with a contractor, builder, or architect, then those contact details are going to go here. Okay, onboarding is all of the necessary steps to get a client integrated into our workflow. So we will assign tasks, we will figure out our key dates. Yes, we set these at the very beginning of the project. We also need to set them up in our system. So we use other systems as well in our business. And this is just reminding us, hey, we need to get them integrated into Harvest, which is our timekeeping app, into Dropbox, Ivy, as well as any other systems that we have to get them started. The very first thing to get a client going is a site survey. So this is all the information related to that. Okay, moving on to concept design. There are, for us, 4 steps. We do the preliminary drawings, the programming and budget, creating the design notebook, as well as getting any client feedback from them. Those notes would be included here. All right, design development. Here we have trade day, which is figuring out who do we need to contact. So we've been talking with our client. We kind of understand the direction we're going. Let's say that this project requires a contractor. This is our time to coordinate with that contractor, have a site visit, do a walkthrough, discuss the project parameters, and take it from there. After trade day, this is really important in the workflow because we are going to have follow-up tasks, meaning probably my assistant is going to come in here and they're going to revise some RFPs, those are requests for proposals, as well as track the responses. Drawings, we've got to get those drawings shown. This is our checklist of all of the things that we need to make sure are on each of our drawings. Sourcing, obviously we don't source within Asana, we use Ivy for that. So we're going to include links to Ivy here once we have those links available. Next, we have prepare for the presentation. So this is just keeping track of all of our prints that we need to have available for our client, anything that we need to do in preparation for our clients, especially if they're coming to our office. There's a few more steps that we need to make sure we do before they arrive. Next is implementation. So for us, implementation is everything that has to do with purchasing and project management. Getting any reselections prepared, contacting our trades to say, hey, congratulations, the clients have approved this work. We would love to take the next steps to working with you, as well as preparing and sending any invoices to our clients related to product. Again, all of those invoices for us are created within Ivy. You might use a different software, but this is just our task reminding us this is the next thing in our purchasing. This again is everything that has to do with purchasing product for our client. Project management has to do with really coordinating our trades and the calendar and communicating all of that with our client. And we have ongoing project tasks that have to be done every single week. Fires, this is a really important one for us. So often in the implementation process, things happen, something goes out of stock, something has arrived back damaged, something goes on back order. There's an endless array of different issues that can come up. So we call these fires, and what fires do we need to put out today? So here is where we would just add a subtask for each issue that's coming up. And we will do a lot of commenting down here that just helps us all keep apprised of what's the status on this particular thing. This helps everyone on the team know what's going on at all times. Finally, we have the install phase. So there's pre-install, install day, and then post-install day, as well as project wrap-up. And that's how this is broken down. So our pre-install is everything that we need to do to communicate with our clients. What do we need to get ready? Who do we need to schedule? We'll order flowers, and we'll make sure that our install day kit is ready to go. On the day of install, we really just use this to keep track of issues that come up. So we'll have Asana open during install day, and if something arrives damaged or broken, or there's any sort of issue that comes up, it goes here in these subtasks, and it's something that we take care of the next day, if not the day of. Post-install is where we go through and we reconcile any issues that may have come up during the install process, as well as making sure we get photographs for our project. Finally, we make sure that we gather and return any accessories that the clients may have decided not to keep, as well as invoice our clients for our accessories package that they have seen. And finally, for project wrap, we're going to invoice our clients. We're going to schedule time to take them out to lunch or dinner, as well as preparing their binder and just wrapping up the project in a nice way. Keep in mind, this whole system starts out as a template, and as we go, it gets built to and added to over time. But not having a base like this to start with can really derail your project if you don't have a framework with which to work with. So I hope you found this helpful. Real quick before we wrap up, I just want to show you that when you upload the CSV file that I've prepared for you to use this template, you want to keep one thing in mind. Okay, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So first, you're going to go over here to this plus sign, and you're going to select project, and then you'll click import spreadsheet. Give your client a name, select the file, and you're going to select the CSV file that I've given you. Okay, keep in mind that immediately upon uploading the CSV file, you're not going to see all of the tasks. It takes a minute for them to upload. The other thing is that if you want it to be in the board view, like I have shown you, click on board and go over here to the drop-down menu and do save as layout. Finally, it's going to automatically import this untitled section, so I would go ahead and just delete that section. Now, giving it a few more minutes to populate the rest of the tasks, it should look exactly like my template that I use in our business. I hope you found this helpful. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe to the Designers Oasis weekly emails with free templates, tools, checklists, and guides to help you run your interior design business with total confidence. All right, bye for now.